Guys, I finished.
Hey, yo, what the?
Wait, no, not like, son of a. What's up, guys? You got the Video Game Voter here with our brand new episode. If you guys been paying attention for the past 2 weeks, we started a mini series. It's called The Holy Trilogy, where I'm trying to collect the first 3 Super Mario games, CIB. So the very first week, we got what is considered to me my holy grail, the first Super Mario Brothers completing box. Then we hunted down Super Mario 2 completing box. So now we're on a mission to hunt down the last part, the last game to complete the Holy Trilogy, which is Super Mario Bros. 3. Come with me on this ride as we go to my favorite local retro game store, which is BlakRanger Video Games. And we're going to start there. We're going to try to pick up Super Mario Bros. 3 completing box. Alright guys, so we back in the game room. We just left one of my favorite stores, BlakRanger Video Games. And shout out to the owner, Joe. We always have great conversations. We have a great relationship, great friendship. Coming in there, I always support him and always try to shout out his store as much as possible. Just want to keep in mind that these funds, is pretty much I'm getting these games for free initially. So I ended up selling my 2 mini countercades, my Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. So those funds are what funded these purchases. Just to keep that in mind, you can trade up to get different things within your collection depending on what you want to let go. And for space reasons, I wanted to get rid of those. Needless to say, we went up to the store. Always great store. They get new stuff in daily and they post on their Facebook page, which I'm going to link in the description. And I hope you guys will go over there and like the page and check out some of the stuff that they have available. I believe they also sell some stuff online. If you're not here in Maryland, you get to purchase some stuff from them through Facebook and I believe their eBay store. So don't forget to check them out. Down to business. Of course, we were hunting down Super Mario Bros. 3 to complete this trilogy, and it's got to be complete in box. That's what the mission is. And once again, my boys delivered. Pick it up, Super Mario Bros. 3 CIB. Now the box is a little beat up. Again, I'm gonna send this out to get graded as well, but I'm not super pressed about the condition. I want to say that for this game, I actually got this relatively cheap because of the condition of the box and the relationship. Pretty much picked this up for about 40 bucks. So it was awesome that I got this to add to the collection. All right, so price charting has Super Mario Bros. 3 listed. Loose is $18.10. CIB is $86.91. Sealed is $985.50. And a graded copy is $2,535. Graded CIB is $314.24. The box by itself is worth $44.37. Manual is $9.99. Item in box $62.47. Item in manual $28. Box and manual $54.36. Now again, guys, I have loose copies of each of these games, so I don't need to go back into these things to pull them out, play them, and there's a million ways to play these first 3 Mario games. So definitely keep that in mind. I don't want anybody to think, oh, you know, you're never gonna be able to see the games or whatever. And I don't know, I may eventually just get the original Super Mario Brothers cartridge with just the cart by itself. I may go to find that, but maybe not. This is the one with Duck Hunt. Here's my Mario Bros. 2 cart. And then my loose copy of Mario Bros. 3. So, you know, I don't need to go back in there and look through the manual, stuff like that. I do plan on sending them out to get graded. I will do an updated episode once I send them out to get graded so you guys can see the scores. Try to give you guys a good glimpse of the condition of the boxes and stuff like that so you guys have an idea of the condition and where they decided to rate it. And that way they give you guys some, you know, ideas and insight on if you decide to send your stuff in to get graded and it's not necessarily in the greatest of condition. I'm not banking on it grading too high, mainly because of this tear right there, but again, it's not a really big deal to me. Again, later on, if I wanted to trade up and get a cleaner copy, I can, but I'm definitely happy to have this and to be able to complete this trilogy. So we now have all 3 Mario games CIB in the collection. And I couldn't be more excited about having these in the collection. These are, you know, me being a huge Nintendo fan, this was a must-have for my collection. And, you know, especially if you're a Nintendo fan, like Super Mario Bros. 3 is regarded as one of the greatest platformer games. And this, according to a lot of people, is probably the best out of the three. I mean, people like Super Mario Bros. 2, but of course we know the kind of controversial issue with Super Mario Bros. 2. And it kind of not actually being Super Mario Bros. 2, you know what I mean? But Super Mario Bros. 3 is definitely one of the ones regarded as one of the best games ever. And that's the case with, you know, all three of these games. They're all very coveted and just great to have in the collection. A lot of people, you know, it's very nostalgic to have these things. I believe Super Mario Bros. 3 came out late in the life cycle of the Nintendo. Okay, so I'm wrong. So Super Mario Bros. 3 actually came out in 1988. I know the first one came out in 85. Can't remember when 2 came out. So obviously it came out in between there. And this one came out in 88. And this actually spawned another TV show, Super Mario Bros. 3 show. So they had 3 different Mario shows, which I also have those DVDs. So the first one, which a lot of us be more familiar with, is Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which was the first one. Then they came out with The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. And that's what obviously was spawned from Super Mario Bros. 3, the game. I kind of remember this one, but I more so remember Super Mario Bros. Super Show. And then not only that, they also came out with Super Mario World. And guys, these are also, in my opinion, I think you should definitely go and collect these if you're a collector with physical media going away. The Legend of Zelda series, and you know, they always showed little excerpts or little clips, but they were like mini episodes that was on the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. They always showed this, and they was Captain N or something like that. They also had like a mini show within that show as well. But we are all collectors, and I highly recommend that if you collect physical media, I would get my hands on these things. You can still get them relatively cheap online, especially on eBay. I would grab these things up when you see them, because after a time, we all know Nintendo, for the most part, their stuff is highly sought after, highly collectible. You already know these DVDs are going to go up in value, as well as the VHS. If you find a VHS, same thing, I would buy them up. And then you also, the way the digital media is, they can remove stuff off of the website at any time, edit it, dumb it down, whatever, and you kind of want the original, so you definitely should find some of these DVDs to add to your collection. And guys, I'm happy and ecstatic to have these things in my collection. And it also goes to show, you know, when you're a video game collector, over time, your trends and what you want to collect tends to change over time. And I never was really big on CIB or sealed games and stuff like that, but I've grown to just converting to only collecting Nintendo games or Nintendo merchandise. That my thought process is a lot different, where I can appreciate certain things like this that are sentimental to me, to collect these things complete in box and be able to get them graded and stuff like that. And it's like, I want my collection to grow and go in a certain direction. And I feel like I'm headed in that direction, where I have some of these games that are important to me, not just to have loose, but, you know, in a certain condition or in the box, so to speak. So another one of my long-term goals is to get one of each of the mainline Mario series CIB, and I have the majority of them, so it's only a few. So we may have to do a series about that, where I go through the ones that I have, and then also keep track, show you guys me hunting down the other ones that I don't have. And guys, make sure you tune in next week as we start the second half of this Holy Trilogy series. So to find out what that is, make sure you tune in next week to the Video Game Voter. If you missed last week's episode, make sure you click that link above. If you want to catch one full season of the Video Game Voter, click that link down below.
Thank you for watching. Follow me on all social media platforms at VideoGameVotary.